All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is Sunday, July 27th, last day on the road here. We will return to the normal videos starting tomorrow, but we got 3 MLB plays coming your way in today's video. Normally, if you guys are new, we are going through the entire slate, each and every game. I'm giving you my lean on the side, the total, any player props we like in every single game, every single day. But when we do travel, we shrink the video down, and I just give you the plays that I'm liking in the morning. So again, 3 plays coming your way. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. A couple things to talk about before we do get to it, though. Yesterday, we had 2 plays. We had the Diamondbacks on the money line. That ends up being a loser. And then the Mets and Giants first 3 under. That seemed to be a little no sweat play. So a 1-1 night. We're on like a, geez, I don't even know, a 14 and 5, 15 and 5 run or something like that, which we shall take, especially when we're traveling, having a good time, still getting to those bangers. So love to see that. Unfortunately, we had a little bit of a red night last night, and as did Debo here. Robbie Ray over 17 and a half outs. He pitched 5 2/3, coming up just shy there. So his ride of the day streak comes to an end. Really, really unfortunate because if this one were to cash, Debo would have set the record since we've been tracking the ride of the day. This would have been his 4th win. Ultimately is a loss, but shout out to Debo with the ride of the day. If you guys don't know what the ride of the day is, it's simple. Just use that hashtag ride of the day down in the comments. I jump on board with one person's play each and every day and give you a shout out in the next video, win or loss. If you do win, we continue to roll and ride with your plays. If you lose, you still get the shout out, but unfortunately, we got to talk about it, right? And you're getting shouted out for a loss. Not always the best. So enter at your own risk. We'll try to select one today. If not, we'll just jump on board with the ride of the day tomorrow. But still get those hashtag ride of the days down in the comments, because even when I don't hop on board with someone, again, we pick just one person, you're helping out a ton of people in the comments. And I'm seeing some absolute bangers. People just over and over again. A hell of a lot more people in the comments better at this than me, that's for sure. So get those hashtag ride of the days down in the comments. Like I said, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Back to normal action tomorrow. But in terms of our hybrid video here, play number 1. I'm going Michael Toglia under 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. I like the spot here. He's done this in 9 straight games. He's averaging just .6 hits, runs, and RBIs over his last 10 games here. On the season, numbers look okay as well. 71% of games he's hit the under in. On the road, he's hit it in 77% of games. On the road against righties, 78% of games. And I bring up the road numbers because it's very, very important to note that Toglia, when he's on the road, he's not playing in cores, right? Which is obviously a ballpark that kind of creates offense. Him against righties this season, really, really poor. I mean, he's not even batting all that well in general. 193 on the season, but against righties, that drops down to 180 in terms of his batting average. WRC plus 52.3. Don't love that either, but I do love it if we're taking his under, which we are. Now, he's going up against Sagano for Baltimore, who's definitely had his ups and downs. I'll tell you that as a fact. And his numbers are slightly worse against left-handed bats. Toglia being a switch. We'll see him from the left side today, but again, I'm kind of trusting the fact that Toglia struggled more so than what we're seeing out of Sugano. In all honesty, he's also going to throw the splitter, which is a pitch that Toglia really, really struggles against. He's batting just 153 last 30 days against the lefty. Against the splitter, I'm not making this up, which, by the way, we don't make things up. Minus 20.5. Minus 20.5 runs above average against that specific pitch over the last 30 days. If you guys don't know, a number, you don't know where to kind of put as a point of reference, 0 would be like you're not good or bad against the pitch. Maybe -2 would be you're pretty bad against the pitch. +2, you're really good against the pitch. -20 is where this dude is in terms of runs above average against a splitter. So it's kind of the main thing that I looked at there, the pitch mix and the fact that he's going up against a righty. Toglia, all these boxes are checked for me, and sometimes that's the worst because you're walking right into a trap. Why is it so easy, right? But I do think that this is a nice spot to fade him. Righty on the road against the splitter. Just hope that Baltimore bullpen doesn't go and blow, because they've just blown games plenty so far this year. But if Sagano even just is okay, we should see like 3 at-bats from Toglia out of maybe his 4 that we, cash this one in. Now, he also gets pinch hit for late in games plenty too, so love that factor. A lot of these Rockies guys do. Let's move on to play number 2 here. This one is interesting. I feel like I talked about a trap with how Toglia is checking all the boxes. I'm not sure why we're getting these odds here. Paul Skeens is on the bump. Anytime you can get an under that is kind of a consumable odds range or price. Kind of seems fishy. We have him versus Zach Gallen. Maybe Zach Gallen on the road is what's making this a price that we could take. But I like his under two and a, or their under 2.5 in the first 3 innings. Gallen obviously has had his struggles. Okay, we know that. I'm a big Zach Gallen guy and all that, but he is on the road. But weirdly enough, he does pitch a little bit better on the road here. He's way better against righties as well. There's a ton of righties in this Pittsburgh lineup, especially some of those power bats, I guess you could say. Definitely plenty of lefties too. I mean, you have Reynolds and Cruz, but what I really do like is that Zach Gallen's going to throw the fastball like 60% of the time. Pittsburgh, FY, still a terrible offense, and especially against the fastball. Just Tommy Pham has a positive runs above average last 30-day number there against the fastball. So do obviously love to see that. And do we really need to talk about the other side of things? And Paul Skeens? Paul Skeens throws fastball. Yes, this is an Arizona team that hits the fastball pretty damn well, but it's a Paul Skeens fastball. And I don't know if this Arizona offense has looked like this Arizona offense. If you recall, 2 days ago we cashed them on the money line. They won 1-0 in the 11th. Yesterday they end up losing the game because they can't score, right? So yeah, I don't really sit here and be like, wow, like this Arizona offense is humming. Throw in the fact, and we should be mentioning this a lot more to you guys, throw in the fact that we have the trade deadline coming up, and Arizona's one of the teams. There's a few out there, Marlins being another one of these teams that is heavily involved in trade rumors, whether it is Zach Gallen or Merrill Kelly or Suarez, or they just have a bunch of guys that are potentially being traded, right? So don't really think that their offense is all there. They already did trade Josh Naylor, so it's like, damn, yeah, this offense took a big hit since trading him. They've scored 1 and 0 runs. So I think this could be a nice spot to fade the offense. And again, I'm talking like they have 9 innings to score here. It's Paul Skeens against an offense that, yeah, I don't necessarily believe in right now for 3 innings. If Paul Skeens goes out there and gets the job done, I think Pittsburgh offense takes care of themselves, regardless if it's Zach Gallen. So, yeah, just kind of want to get ahead of the comments of like, oh, you're always backing Zach Gallen and he's failing for you. I can admit that at this point in the season, but this is not a total backing of Zach Gallen. This is saying that Arizona's offense won't get to Skeens, and I also don't think that Pittsburgh's offense is going to be great against Gallen just because of the fastball. Even Gallen's numbers against this Pittsburgh squad, not all that terrible. 101 plate appearances against, just a 244 average, so kind of mediocre. He keeps the ball on the ground, launch angle of 9.3, and an expected WOBA of 337, but an actual WOBA of 301, so could be a nice spot for him. But again, it's kind of just like fading the offenses, not necessarily backing Gallen. Play number 3, before we do that, I'm going to keep talking about it, guys, until you understand how good of a decision it would be to go sign up and hop on Novig. Link down in the description, as well as the pinned comment. It is just an addition to your sportsbook arsenal. You can shop around and get the best prices, and Novig, like 80 to 90% of the time, is beating these books with the prices because it is a peer-to-peer exchange. They have Joe Schmoes out there setting lines. You go on there and you're like, you know what? I like that line. I'll take the other side of it. You can get the best price available. You can even create your own lines over on Novig. So go check it out, guys. Link will be down below in the description, as well as the pinned comment. Now, like I said, play number 3, and if you didn't think I was crazy after backing Zach Gallen, you might think I'm crazy here because we have Houston on the money line. Now, I know this team is very injured, and now they have, which is Colton Gordon on the bump for them. But this is almost a situational spot for me. And if you are someone that, likes to avoid those situations because that doesn't matter with the data and all that, then you're not going to like this play because realistically, I by the numbers, could see the Athletics hanging in this game. What I like is that the A's have beat Houston 3 times in a row already, and it hasn't really even been competitive. 5-2, 15-3, and 5-1. Hunter Brown was on the bump for them yesterday in Houston, and they still couldn't pull out a win. So I don't sit here and think, okay, well, this Athletics team that had lost like 5 straight games before that is going to come into Houston after Houston swept Arizona and 4 games sweep them. So I do kind of think this is a situational play, getting out ahead of that. But the thing that I end up liking is the pitch mix for JT Ginn. He's on the mound against Colton Gordon today. Actually, we'll start with Colton Gordon because, like I said, there are arguments to be made for this Athletics team. Colton Gordon's a lefty. They hit lefties a little bit better than they do righties on the athletic side of things, and his pitch mix isn't exactly all that perfect for this. He's going to throw the fastball and the slider. Athletics 13th against the fastball, slider #1 team in the league. So I get that. But where I end up really liking the Astros offense, even with the injuries they have, even with these second stringers, JT Ginn is going to be seeing, are going to be throwing 59% sinker and 30% slider. Number 2 team in the league last 30 days against the sinker is Houston, okay? So that's good. They should be able to hit the sinker. You throw in the fact that the slider's also coming in at 30% of the time. So we're talking about 90% of his pitch mix, right? 90% of his pitch mix, they're top 10 team against the slider. So I'm thinking that this is a good spot. You have guys like Christian Walker, Caratini, Altuve that really hit the slider well. So kind of the meat of that order, or at least the meat of that projected order right now. So I think that they can kind of bounce back here and at least pull one out. We took this, or we said this about the Orioles when they were going to get swept by the Guardians and all that. I do like to focus on sweep spots sometimes. Sweep spots, not sweet spots, because 4 games, beating a team just 4 straight times, sure, it happens, but it seems pretty damn hard to me. And I think Houston is the better team, even with the injuries and all that. But throw in the fact that, yeah, this Athletics bullpen's been kind of up and down. Even if they don't get to JT Ginn, I think that this Houston team may have some advantages later on in the game as well. Abreu, King, and Hader all should be able to go out there and pitch, so they have some of their really key high leverage arms. So yeah, just to recap what we have today, again, it's 3 plays, no parlays or anything, but we have Mike Toglia under 1.5, that's hits, runs, and RBIs. We move on to the first 3 under in the Arizona and Pitt game, and then we just wrapped up with Houston on the money line. I just like the price and I like the spot for them. But guys, that's gonna wrap it up for today's show. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment 11 down below. Loved seeing all the, I think I said the number 8 yesterday. I tell you guys all the time, and it probably seems like overkill or a broken record when people hear it every single time and you watch every single day. But anyone that is new, I am totally aware of the fact that the video may not sound as good or look as good or the lighting's as good or the graphics aren't as good when we are on the road. But I'd still rather grind even on vacation, waking up maybe in Hangover Central or something like that, and still getting the video out and continue to build this community with you guys. So appreciate anyone that makes it through to the end of these videos. I really do mean that. So comment 11. We're already at like the 12-minute mark now, but comment 11 if you made it this far in the video. Catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace out.